Time now for the voice of the land on the Big Play Network with your hosts, Kevin Arnold and Always Positive Jay.
The direction we are going to go with the show right now is we are going to welcome in Gabb Goudy, who joins us to talk a little Browns and a little Cavs as well. Gabb, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Of course, you work with FanDuel and do the Unsportsmanlike Conduct podcast. Thank you so much for taking time on your Sunday night.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me, guys.
We were talking in our first segment about the Browns' first half. We hadn't had a chance to really react to the Monday night game, and we said going into that one that it was a must win. It seemed like, finally for the first week out of those first 8, all three phases of the game showed up. Besides that blocked 53-yard field goal, it seemed like everybody had that same mentality in that building.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I was excited. I was excited. That's all I can say. I didn't expect it would be like that. I had a feeling, like they always beat up on the Bengals. I'm like, maybe they'll have a chance right now. Maybe this will be the time. And they did well above and beyond everything I thought they were going to do.
The fear was like everyone kept saying how like we own Joe Burrow. We own Joe Burrow. I'm like, great. This dude's going to hear this. And I swear, I thought he was going to throw for 500 yards. And
I thought so too.
I was really scared. No, I ain't going to lie. I totally thought we were going to get blown out in that game. I'm like, and then the way it just went, I'm like, oh my God, we finally get to win. And where I'm not a nervous wreck to the very end of this. Like we won soundly finally.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like the whole game was, well, besides the Amari interception at the beginning, like the whole game felt pretty good.
Yeah, well, let's just never call that play ever again.
I mean, I don't think he ever wants to do it again either. It was cool. It was a nice little try. Like, he had his moment, but we know to never have that moment again.
Now, he even said he actually attempted to throw that out. Like, he wasn't trying to throw it to the receiver. He was trying to throw it out of bounds. He's like, man, that's a lot harder than I thought. Let's not do that again.
Yeah, his post game was pretty good with that.
Yeah.
He's like, that was totally me. That's tough. Yeah, let's just rip that page out of the playbook and
He's been a total bright spot this year. Like, you look at these receivers that are getting traded, like Claypool for a second, and then you see what we got Amari Cooper for. You're like, man, that was one hell of a trade by Andrew Berry.
Yeah. Well, he's one of the best route runners in the NFL, and that's for a reason. And it doesn't take long, I think, for a quarterback and a guy like that to find some actual chemistry on the field. I will say I was kind of getting some sound after that game, and I know he wanted to like swear, he wanted to drop some bombs to the media and stuff because he was having a good time with it. And that's like one of those first pitches where you just hold on to it too long, and instead of going straight down the pipe, it goes way off to the side. One of those funny ones. If he was trying to throw that out of bounds, I don't know. That was a dart to the defensive bag. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, looking at the first half of the season, though, we knew Watson was going to be out through the bye week and after that. Brissett has seemed like a bright spot. But is there one thing that you can pinpoint? And Jay, I want to get your answer on this too. Is there one thing you can pinpoint that you really want to see change or come out of that Monday night game and be a consistent element for this team in the second half if they're going to make a run?
Well, I mean, we can all collectively agree the defense shouldn't play like that all the time. Right, like that should be it. They're getting paid a lot of money. They're supposed to be really good at what they do. So maybe just keep doing that. Whatever you guys did there, do it again. Act like you're playing the Bengals every week. I don't know what else they could do. Seems like the only thing that ever like fixes them, they play the Bengals.
So they got to pull the water boy where they just imagine everyone bearing the Bengals and just use their imagination, and they'll just ball out week in and week out. It's great.
Miles looked like he was the healthiest he's been all year, and especially coming out of that car accident, like he looked the healthiest and the freshest he has been all year long. Backing up that great Halloween display he had, he really did take Joe Burrow and the Bengals to the upside down.
Yeah, he really did. I just feel like I don't know. I feel like Zach Taylor, for whatever reason it is, I don't know if you're playing Myles Garrett, maybe do something else.
Yeah,
you might want to
maybe
chip him and put a tight end out there too.
It's not working.
Yeah, we appreciated the single blocking on Myles Garrett.
Right, I said interesting, but okay, we'll take it.
I mean, I want to ask you guys: did Myles Garrett putting up Halloween displays bother any of you guys? Because it didn't me. He doesn't take time out of his own time to do it. He pays people to do it that are professionals. And, like, people were upset. They're like, I can't believe this guy's doing this again. Like, it's just how outside Halloween displays. Like,
right. Like, did they miss the one last year? Because I feel like the one last year was even worse.
Oh no, people didn't miss that either. The beat writers were all in on that. They saw the Halloween decorations. I think the QB graveyard that time, and then him wearing a costume. But I think he was like one of the only ones going into Halloween weekend wearing a costume on the Browns.
No,
and
there were a bunch of people. There were a bunch of people with
this
costumes.
week, yeah.
Well, this
year.
week, but last year, everybody was on it because, Miles was supposed to be a leader, and the team, I think, got absolutely trounced that weekend. So I knew that people were looking for that. They were looking for that to be a storyline coming out of this if the Browns went to 2-6 and all the pageantry of the players coming in and all of these costumes and stuff. I did think even though we're past it now and he didn't get traded, Kareem Hunt wearing a Joker mask, I thought was kind of a double, it kind of had like other meaning to it too, not just being Halloween. That one I think would have brought up more conversation if the Browns would have lost.
I'm just glad he won, so now he can actually put up Christmas lights and not people complain about it. Hopefully, like he could decorate for Christmas now and not get made fun of for it.
Oh, I mean, but if he puts up any sort of Christmas lights in the design of like Tua Tagovailoa or Tom Brady, Josh Allen,
I love the Tom Brady one. Hey, real quick, the Browns are going to beat the Bills. I believe it. By the way, like I fully believe it. Don't ask me why, but they're doing it.
So were you surprised by that game today, the Jets beating the Bills?
Yeah, I would say it was surprising. I thought the Bills were going to win, but I didn't think it was going to be like a lot to a little. I thought they would put up a decent fight, but Zach Wilson would do some dumb things to where the Bills would win, but he didn't do those dumb things, but he also didn't play very well, but he didn't do.
I mean, that Jets defense is the truth. They're really good.
Yeah.
You hold the Bills to that many points, you're doing something right.
Well, and I heard driving in to do the show tonight, Sal Palantonio from ESPN, I think he was doing radio call of the game, and he said that Josh Allen said something about his mistakes today, his interceptions, his turnovers, and used some profanity as well in it, but basically said like he had, a mind fart like all game long. If you got Josh Allen doing that, I mean, the Browns do have a chance, but the first test is going down to Miami.
Yeah.
Do you think that they're doing the right things over these 2 weeks, Gabb? I mean, I know we're only a week into the bye week. We got another week of prep going before we go down to Miami. What do you hope that they're getting done, at least in this off week? Players getting rest, but what else should they be doing so that the defense comes out like they did against the Bengals?
Oof, I have no idea. I don't know. Maybe just pretend that, like I said, pretend it's going to be the Bengals. I don't know what it's going to take for them to get it together. I really don't know. And I can't base their performance off of just last week because every time we play the Bengals, it's a massacre. Every single time. And I feel like it's just I can't base it off the Bengals.
I'd have to say they just can't ride the high of that win. They gotta be moved on. Like, all right, you beat the Bengals, great. That's the past. Move on. Bust your ass. Get to work. Study. Get your body nice and rested and healthy, and get ready to take on a hell of an offense because you're going to need that same performance that you just did, and you can't rely on last game because that ain't going to give you no points for this game.
Yeah.
Am I crazy 100%. For fearing that they're not doing the right thing, though, because of that? It's still back to when John Johnson called out his team and saying that, and it didn't really translate until Monday night.
I don't know.
Well, he shouldn't be doing that because he needs to get it together, too.
And we said that here on the show. Like, it's one thing if it gets so bad that you have to bring it to the media, like that it's bad.
Right.
But
like, look at yourself first.
Yeah, the reason
and
why.
And then reevaluate with everybody else.
Right. And I mean, you fit in right with the show because I feel like we bring these things up on when we're talking about stuff and people don't.
Yeah.
We try to look at it.
I like him, but like I feel like he could play a little better.
Yeah, like when you're the guy when you're part of the problem and you're calling out like you're not the problem. That's where
like a theme.
That's
with
where the whole mess was last year, and we thought one guy leaving that locker room was the change to that. It didn't feel like that in the first half.
Changed the offense, but it stayed with the defense, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened with this defense. We talked about how in the first segment we talked about how outside of the Browns having the Bengals be their magic elixir, their get right game, it felt like the Browns were everybody else's get right game in the first half of the season, and that shouldn't be the case with all this talent.
Yeah, for sure.
And they've
For sure, definitely.
They've put themselves in a tough predicament in the second half. If you think that Deshaun Watson's going to be able to knock off 2 years of not playing, if we're just looking at him in a pure football standpoint, elite quarterback type standpoint, he's just going to knock off all that rust. It's not like it looked that great in the preseason. I know the preseason doesn't matter, but it sure mattered when you saw the defense doing the same things they were doing then that they're doing now outside of that Monday night game.
And dude, just having timing with your receivers, that takes time. Like, I'm sure he could still throw the ball just as hard as he did. He's probably just as fast as he was and just as accurate, but you have to get timing. Like, that takes time. You can't just get that overnight. Like, otherwise people would be trading quarterbacks left and right and not caring because you just plug and play, and that don't work.
I guess bringing it down to brass tacks for both of you, Jay, Gabb, what do you guys see as the second half record? What will the Browns' record be in these last 8 games? Will they make the playoffs with that record as well? Gabb,
No.
I'll start with you. What do you? How many
I
games?
don't think they will.
And I don't either. How many games? How many games do they have to win in the second half to make the playoffs?
All of them.
Pretty much. You got to win.
Yeah, you got to win. And I don't think we're going to – I said we're going to beat the Bills. Stupid to say out loud. But you got to win all of them.
Jay?
I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I think they'll just miss out, and you're going to go back and be like, man, all those – just a couple of those close games, just a couple plays away, and that's how it's going to end. So I'd say Watson, what does he get, 6 games?
Since the 11 games.
Since
Like,
the 11.
I said, they're not making it. Like, your season's good luck. See how it goes. It's going to be a mess. So.
And I think the most unfortunate thing about that is, I think we were kind of talking about that too. We all felt like the 11-game suspension really hurt the season because we thought, Jacoby Brissett, he's been a career backup. Every game that he wins, he loses 2 or 3 other ones. And you thought like the offense was going to be a problem. The defense might be able to keep them in games, but they might not have enough. The season might not look as good. Everybody gets a pass after this year. And yet it's been the exact opposite that has been the problem for most of the season that makes this so frustrating that they're not going to make the playoffs because Brissett, you can't really put it on
I'll
him.
give you guys hope. Last game showed me that Stefanski actually can change what he doesn't do. Like, they showed they will run the ball. Like, I think they ran twice as much they threw finally, and the results came like we destroyed the Bengals. If they stick to the script and this defense plays this defense, our run game does what we're supposed to do. When we run the ball like we just did, use both backs to both their ability, we could make a run. Like, it's capable of happening. It's not an impossible task. I truly believe, like, the talent's there. It's a matter if they go out and execute. And history has shown us the Browns don't do that. But like I said, it's there. They have the talent. They have more talent than this team we've ever seen them with. So, like, since 99 at least.
Yeah, and you did all these one-year deals and everything like that.
Not to mention the rest of this league is really good. Like, any team could beat any team. Like, any given Sunday. Like, there's no super elite teams, I don't think, out there. The Bills showed today they're beatable.
Yeah.
Gabb's got faith we're going to beat them. Like, you can beat anybody.
I've been saying it for weeks, though.
They don't scare me like teams that used to scare me were like the Chiefs when they first came out, and they were just.
They still scare me.
Yeah, they kind of do, just because you could literally be up 24 points at 3 minutes
And
ago, and that
Mahomes
dude will come back. But
yeah. I don't know. There's a bunch of cheat codes in the NFL in terms of players, but again, nobody's really running away with anything this year, and I think that's what gives everybody at least a chance. I just don't know where. I just don't see how the Browns can just.
The problem
flip
is
switch
too is
just
the
like
Ravens got like a cakewalk schedule coming up. Like they might not lose again.
Yeah, well, they'll take care of the cakewalk schedule, unlike the Browns did. But I want to have a little bit of.
Find a way to win all the time.